As we know, the Heart of Inmost Light exotic chest piece for the Titan is probably the best exotic to use in PvE. Previously on the channel, I dropped a video pairing the new Arc 3.0 changes with the exotic and allowing the Storm Grenade to last a long time, roam around, and kill a lot of enemies. But in this video, I wanted to take a look at that build again and improve upon it with the seasonal mods and weapons that are available this season. If you don't know what the exotic does, here you go. Its perk, Overflowing Light. Using an ability, which is your grenade, melee, or barricade, empowers the other two abilities. Empowered means abilities have a faster regen, melees and grenades do more damage, and the barricade has more hit points. Pretty much, if you use one ability, the other two get empowered. If you use that ability, your last ability gets empowered times 2. So you got to keep that in mind. Let's go over what I'm using in the subclass. So super-wise, I'm going with Thunder Crash for that one-hit super, do a lot of damage there. Ability-wise, I'd go Towering or the Rally Barricade. Honestly, either one doesn't matter. Do not do Thruster, since in the description of Heart of Inmost Light it says Barricade, so just use one of the barricades. Movement ability doesn't matter. Melee, honestly, it doesn't matter which one you use. I just like Thunderclap to have that charge up because I can do a lot of damage with it and get the potential benefits from Heart of Inmost Light. Now, grenade. We're using the Storm Grenade. Like I said, this is going to be, you know, an update of a previous build where we use a Storm Grenade. The reason being is because Storm Grenade with the aspect Touch of Thunder makes it absolutely disgusting. So again, you get bonuses to certain grenades in your, you know, grenade slot. But again, the Storm Grenade specifically, after detonating, and creates a roaming thundercloud that tracks nearby targets and fires bolts of lightning at foes, which makes this thing absolutely disgusting. I love it. So the other one, aspect-wise, we're using is Knockout. You know, critically wounding a target or breaking their shield infuses your melee attacks with arc energy and increases your melee range and damage for a short time. Defeating targets with melee attacks starts health regeneration and makes you amplified. So again, if we want to get amplified, get that extra speed and a couple other bonuses there, we might as well do that. Plus, getting our health back on melee kills is going to be crucial to survive. Fragment-wise, I would look into Spark of Resistance. While you're surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. Again, this is really good in general. Plus, you get plus 10 to strength. Next, we have Spark of Magnitude. Essentially allows us to have our Storm Grenade last longer, you know, kill more enemies, do more damage to bosses, etc. Spark of Amplitude. Rapidly defeating targets while you're amplified creates an orb of power. That's going to be good for you and your teammates. And then lastly, I would recommend looking into Spark of Feedback. You know, taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage. It also gives you a plus 10 to resilience. So if you already have 100 resilience and you just want to use it and go over, you can totally do that. That's fine. But if you are at 100 resilience like I am and you're like, hey, I don't really need this plus 10, what other things could I look into? I'm going to be going over some weapon options, but if you are going to be using an arc special weapon, you could look into Spark of Beacons. You know, while you're amplified, your arc special weapon final blows create a blinding explosion that's going to be really good for ad control. And honestly, there's not really a lot of ones on the list. Like, you could go with Spark of Shock to make your arc grenades, you know, cause jolt. You could go with something like Spark of Recharge. You know, while you're critically wounded, your melee and grenade, you know, regenerates more quickly. Honestly, there's not a lot of options here when it comes to that, but I'd highly recommend looking into Spark of Resistance, Spark of Magnitude, and Spark of Amplitude. Next, let's go over the armor mods that I'm using. Now, just note, you can put any of these, you know, Elemental Well, Charger Light armor mods in any slot as long as it matches the elemental type of the piece of armor. Again, you can put it in any one of the pieces of armor that you want, and I will be going over substitutes at the end, but I'd highly recommend looking into this specifically. So on the helmet here, first up, I have Elemental Ordnance. Again, defeating a combatant with a grenade spawns an Elemental Well that matches your subclass energy type. Next up is Harmonic Siphon. Rapid weapon final blows with damage matching your subclass type create an orb of power. So again, if we have arc weapons and we get, you know, rapid weapon final blows, free orb of power right there. Next up, Ashes to Assets. Gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. On our gauntlets, main thing to note is Well of Life. Picking up a solar elemental well grants increased regeneration for a short period of time. And then I have Impact Induction. Causing damage with a melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. On the chest piece, I'm going Font of Might. Picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type grants a temporary bonus to weapon damage of that same elemental type. So any arc weapons will get a bonus to weapon damage for a period of time. On my boots here, I have Explosive Wellmaker. Rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. And then I have Double Innervation, which pretty much means when I pick up an orb of power, that reduces my grenade cooldown. Lastly, on my class item, I have Well of Ordnance. Picking up a solar elemental well grants you additional grenade energy. Multiple copies increase the effect. And then the seasonal mod, Monochromatic Maestro. This just brings it all together and makes it even more disgusting. Pretty much, if I deal damage with my elemental abilities, that's going to increase my arc weapon damage. Now, it has to be the same elemental type, but since we're on arc, it's going to be arc weapons. And then dealing damage with those weapons grants increased damage to the abilities for a short duration. So if you switch back and forth, your weapon and your abilities are both going to have bonus damage throughout. That's why it has this little infinity loop right here. Now, if you wanted to keep Explosive Willowmaker to create that Solar Elemental Well and Well of Life to get that health back, but you want to replace something like Well of Ordnance, you could go Bountiful Wells. Now, pretty much whenever you create one Elemental Well, it's going to spawn two, and with Elemental Ordnance on this, we're going to have an Arc and a Solar Well spawn, so now you get double of that. That'll help with ability cooldowns and whatnot. But if you just wanted to completely bypass, the Solar Elemental Well, I would say, route that I'm taking here, and you want to do something with Charge of Light, with Elemental Charge, when you pick up a Elemental Well, you get Charge of Light, and if it matches your subclass energy type, it gets ×2, and you want to do that, you could pair that with something like High Energy Fire, allowing for that bonus weapon damage. And if you wanted to replace High Energy Fire, with the increased grenade cooldown, you could go with Firepower, allowing you to gain a portion of your grenade back and consume only one stack of Charge of Light. So again, there are a couple options, but I would really look into the ones that I'm using right now. Now, the stats to focus on, first up, Resilience. We talk about this every video. Resilience is the best thing in PvE, having that 40% damage reduction at max Resilience. And next up, having max Discipline for that fast grenade cooldown. Again, these are the main two you want to focus on for this build. Now, for some weapon options, I would look into using arc weapons. Again, we want weapons to benefit from Fontamite and Monochromatic Maestro. We want to do more damage. We want to be optimal with this, right? So, highly recommend looking into the Kelos SMG. It is craftable. It can come with Volt Shot. The thing is nasty. Still need to craft mine. Special weapon wise, I'd look into Salvage or Salvo. This is a grenade launcher, chain reaction, ambitious assassin. Like I was talking about with Spark of Beacons, when you're amplified, using this is going to cause an explosion and blind those targets. Again, you could look into what's it called? Forbearance, which is a grenade launcher from the Vowed Disciple raid. Where's that little buddy at? There he is. A wave frame, and it can come with chain reaction as well and golden tricorn. Not in the same thing, but again, that would be way too overpowered. You'll also look into the Hothead, which is a Nightfall exclusive rocket launcher. This thing is nasty. Again, explosive light, all-in holster, impact casing. I got big ones on this thing. Nasty. And just one more flex for you guys. This is the LMG from the Spire of the Watcher. I got a juicer roll on this dude. Triple tap and target lock. Damage increase the longer this weapon remains on the target. I was doing great damage to the thing. It was nasty, but pretty much any arc weapon that you have that has a solid roll on it, for your energy in your heavy slot, I would just use it. If you're not catching the synergy here, I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability. So we're going to throw that Storm Grenade. That's going to proc Elemental Ordnance and Explosive Wellmaker. Yes, the Storm Grenade is considered explosive damage. This does like an AoE effect. As long as you get a kill with it, it's going to spawn that Solar Elemental Well, which is fantastic. We're going to pick up both our Arc and Solar Elemental Well. That's how we're going to gain Well of Life for that consistent health regeneration. We're also going to get a grenade cooldown from Well of Ordnance, and Fontamite is going to kick in, allowing us to have that bonus to our arc weapons. Plus, since you just damage enemies with your ability, Monochromatic Maestro is going to kick in, which means your arc weapons are going to have that bonus damage as well. That arc grenade is going to roam around, kill some adds. Your barricade is going to have more hit points. Your melee is going to be even stronger, and if you keep rotating through those abilities, you're going to have faster cooldown. You're going to have that Storm Grenade right back to back, which is just absolutely disgusting. Spark of Magnitude is going to allow it to last longer. If you're amplified and you just continue rapidly defeating those targets, you're going to get Orb of Power. It means you're going to get your super faster. Spark of Resistance is going to be in here, so you're going to resist more incoming damage from enemies. Again, the whole thing here is throwing the Storm Grenade, using abilities, getting kills with weapons, and your weapons will automatically have that bonus arc damage. Like I mentioned, weapon-wise, you want those arc weapons. You're going to gain the most benefit from those. Things like Harmonic Siphon are going to kick in for those arc weapons. Getting, rapid kills with arc weapons is going to spawn more orbs. Every kill you get with your Storm Grenade is going to kick on Ash of the Assets, allowing you to get that Thunder Crash even faster. Impact Deduction, if you do damage with your melee, your grenade's going to cool down even faster. And again, with Enervation, you can pick up those orbs and get that grenade back even faster. Pretty much this whole thing here is to have that grenade back to back to back from ability cooldown, from Heart of Inmost Light, and everything else on this. As long as you rotate through your abilities, get weapon kills, you are going to absolutely destroy in PvE and have really good ad control with your abilities and weapons, and then also have really good DPS for Thunder Crash and your arc heavy weapon. But anyway, guys, that is my updated Heart of Inmost Light arc Titan build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on that bell next to notifications so you don't miss out on another one of these build videos. If you didn't know, we stream here on YouTube. We are not on Twitch. We are here on YouTube 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday evenings. And mostly we're playing Destiny 2, and we're doing Spire of the Watcher, dungeon help, and carries periodically throughout the season. So again, if you do need help with the dungeon, if you haven't done it, or just need a carry, again, join the live stream. And if you want to be proactive, join my Discord. That link will be in the description. Again, we are mostly talking about Destiny 2, but there are a variety of other topics in there from other games, PC tech, and anime. Lastly, if you didn't know, we hit YouTube Partner recently on the channel, which is just freaking awesome. Again, it was a big goal of mine to hit, and that allows us to have exclusive benefits here on the channel. One of those things being memberships. If you don't know what a membership is, essentially it is like a Twitch subscription. You're going to get access to those emotes, the monthly badges, and other stuff here on the channel. If you want more information, press the join button next to subscribe, and that'll give you the rundown with all the details you need. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Hope to catch you in the next one. Cheers.